Hey Flosstube friends, it's Lana with Silly Notion Stitcher here, and happy Flossmas. This is going to be my first Flossmas series, so it is Friday, December 1st, and we got to get it started, right? So I'm really excited to give this a whirl, and I think I have a lot of things to show you over the course of the next 24 days. We will see how well this goes for me. I am wearing my Stitching with the Housewives uniform, and there may still be a little flock dust on here. I did put up my flocked tree earlier, which is a cute little tree that actually I was able to put it on a table for the first time. And so now I am all set, pretty much decorated. Have to put some things away tomorrow. I've got 3 trees up actually this year, so I'm very impressed with myself. They're pretty on the smaller side, but just enough to really spruce up the place. This would be tree number 4. So welcome to Flossmas, and you know, the next several weeks I'm here to just show and tell and sharing in what I'm stitching on, what's bringing me inspiration, and what I'm aspiring to either start or finish or just enjoy in stitching over the next few weeks. So let's get started. So I'm going to be sharing prior finishes, prior FFOs. I'm going to be sharing gifts that I've received this past year since I was able to go to StitchCon in June and a few other retreats. I have my what's in my sewing box, so a little unboxing, surprises, and also some special guests are going to be joining me too. In fact, today I have a special guest and he'll be here a little bit later. So let's get started. So here is my first prior finish. Isn't he adorable? So this is the, I'm pretty sure it's the Hello Santa by Stitching with the Housewives. When he came out, like, this was an instant purchase. Now, what's attached to him here? Okay, so he has a little hat attached, but he won first prize at the fair. So I never really got to cover the winnings that I experienced at the second fair that I entered in this fall. That was the last week of September. I got my entries turned in. I was able to go back and see what ribbons I won and was pleasantly surprised with that. And then I got COVID, so I couldn't even go back to pick up my items. My mother was able to go pick them up. So I keep him in this cute little bowl I received as a gift, part of a gift from a family exchange a few years ago. It's probably a made in another country type of bowl. And it came with these screens already attached, so it's a really nice item to just, you know, put some of these decorations in. And I'm hoping to just continue to increase my bowl-sized smalls. So here on my channel, I primarily focus on smalls. I do a little bit of some sampler stitching, and I do have a desire for certain, like Stacey Nash charts, and you'll be seeing some of those in my haul coming up in the coming weeks when I receive some of them. So I am mostly a smalls stitcher, but I have been working on the little Red Schoolhouse, I guess it is, and actually a Pennsylvania German sampler that is originated in this area where I am living, just outside of Reading, PA. I'm on the edge of Lancaster County. So here's a closer look at our darling little snowman guy. This was when I really felt like I was turning the corner with some of my stitching. I had just started stitching in fall of 2020, and I believe I started him, it seems a little too early that he came out in 2020. It might have been 2021. And I did some red ticking that I just had on hand. I had an old Santa hat that wasn't really fitting too well. Like, this had sort of dry rotted on the hat, so I cut that apart. I still have pieces of it upstairs to use for other things. Just picked a fabric that would tie into the colors. And since my cat just is too serious and won't participate in dressing up, he will not wear this hat. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use it for something cute. So I just love how it turned out. I also dyed that fabric myself. That color's much more accurate. It's when everyone was trying to dye fabric in the aqua, and that might have been the winter of 2020 to 2021. I'm not sure. There was a lot of dyeing discussion going on out there, and this was actually teal. Aqua was not available. I wasn't going out shopping very much because we still weren't vaccinated here, and so I would go out in a limited fashion, and I got what I got. So I love it, and it was definitely 14 count Aida, and I think it was actually like a thrift store find. I was starting to also increase my stash, but trying to be mindful. I wasn't working at the time, so now I am, and so therefore the stash has become abundant this year in particular. Okay, so what have I been working on? I saw this and had to have this right away. So from Primrose Cottage, Christmas trees and stitching, please. Now the colors are a little too dark for my taste, a little too into that maybe 90s time frame still. The red is not quite as burgundy. The red is a decent red. But I wanted to do something a little bit different, and so I went maybe a little more different. So it's Christmas trees and stitching, please, and I found this Lugana. This is Atomic Ranch Oz. Let me see. That's kind of the color, I think. That's not the color. That's more the color. And I would say it's a little bit more vibrant than that. But look at the modeling in that. It's just got some really neat variations that you can go pick an area that has, you know, a lighter section. But I added some pink to this. And so what I'm really trying to do is take a look at designs out there that I really like with colors, and see where I can modify to fit a style that, you know, I just sort of am gravitating to. So I really like how it's coming along. It's been fun stitching the letters for a change. I love houses, and so I'm doing a lot of the smalls series that are out there, like Hometown Holidays I want to get back to, and Glitter Village I still have some houses to finish and things like that. And it's, you know, it can be dense stitching, so to switch to something like this, I did all of this probably in 3 evenings, I think. So you know, you just feel like you get kind of a little farther. Oh, I forgot to show you my blue ribbon from my Santa. It's just pretty funny. And actually, you do get premiums, cash premiums for these different ribbons. So from 2 fairs, I actually won like $60 because I entered a lot of things. Many things won like 3rd place, but I'm like, sure, you know. So I didn't do it for that reason, but it was a nice perk, I'm gonna say. All right, so moving right along, one of the things in my Aspirations section, you know, when it comes to this time of the year, I don't do a lot of Christmas stitching in fall. I stitch during the season, and so we've got fall. I take it all the way up to Thanksgiving. I'm not quite ready to stitch for Christmas, and then here I am again. This will be my 3rd Christmas season of cross stitch, and I really only have a few fully finished things that I can put on display. So I got to keep plugging at it. So I know that adding some really small things will help me get there. So just a few hours ago, I watched JBW Designed by Judy Whitman. I watched Judy's latest video, and she is just always so inspiring. I did pick up this book earlier this year, so Christmas Ornaments 2, and this was after seeing her trunk show, and I got to see her trunk show definitely twice, if not 3 times, but definitely 2 times, which was really a thrill. So I saw this exact tree. I'm pretty sure this is the exact tree, and then she shows it in her latest Flosstube. So she just posted it, I'm pretty sure today, on December 1st. And it's a really fun video because it's just so many of these adorable ornaments. She shows you close-ups of the finishes. And so every time I see your video, Judy, I have to get out my patterns and like, okay, we're gonna do this now. So I have some definite must-dos that I have marked off in this book. And it's been this way since I purchased the book. Oh, and I can't really show you these because they're just the charts, but I am all about the plum pudding. So I think that's going to be a definite start this season. I do have one in progress that I started. It's a wreath. I guess I should show you what the wreath looks like first. It might be that Noel wreath. And I got a little crazy over the summer, and I had a piece of Lugana that I dyed with some green tea bags, and also I had like a blueberry tea bag. So it created some interesting modeling. Can't say I'm really loving it, so I will probably restart, but that is what I did so far. What I really am aspiring to do is 1/1, because when you see her samples of like in person of her 1/1 or somebody else's, it's just incredible. So it's sort of like I have thought, oh, I couldn't possibly. But I got some inspiration from I think it's Sue at Keepsakes, and she walked me through it. She's like, you can definitely do it, because I am a stitcher in hand. I stitch in hand. I really love that. And but she said when you are going to do 1/1, you really want to use a hoop. So I bought a little hoop there, and I think I'm good with that. So Aspiration. All right. So, oh my first Flossmas is already 14 minutes long. I still have to show you my special guest. So in the haul department from Black Friday, I picked up this nice booklet. So I know many of you have been following the SAL or participating in the SAL. I have a friend who was doing that as well, and got to sit next to her working on her North Pole section in June, and the colors were just stunning. I just loved it so much. So I'm like, yeah, I do need to add that to my portfolio of stash. So I will not be doing it in this arrangement. I think I would just do key things that I really love. And when you open the booklet, I mean, the charts are very large. So you get sections of the charts, like covering like an entire top half page in color and just so easy to read. So I open to this little happy couple, and the chart is just adorable. So I need to do those. So all right, so that is one piece of haul that has come in. I'm going to move on quickly to my special guest. Straight from the Royal Mail, it is Mr. Postman. And so I collect carolers, but what I'm really doing now is, I'm not going to get crazy with these, but an ex-boyfriend of mine, an ex-fiance, actually started me on carolers over 20 years ago, and I think he started me with 2, and I was purchasing brand new ones, but in my antique shopping, I have discovered that as many people start clearing out their homes, these cool guys are starting to show up. And what I love is that the Byers Carolers, these are Byers Choice Carolers, originated here in Pennsylvania, not terribly far from where I live, and started in, I believe it was 1984. And so now my hunt is about finding the early ones, because the early ones are really when this entrepreneurial excitement was happening, and it was at a time when this level of detail was being put into something that was handmade right here, and I just love it. And you know, just the detail and what people cherished for their holiday decorating. What's cool about the early ones is that the base is a little bit different, and so I'll be showing you that as I have more special guests. So this is the Royal Postman. Now he is in US colors, but I have seen him in a red robe, and I had to get the Royal Post mailbox, which is now sold out. I don't think you can get them unless you get them secondhand. So I found this in 2019. I was very lucky to go to the factory again. It's like in a business park, and it was my second time there. It was a wonderful visit with my good friend Jill, who is also a stitcher, and we later in February, by February of 2020, we lost our jobs. So we had a totally different life going on, and we all know what happened in March of 2020. So I do cherish this, and the carolers that I feel like I have rescued and saved. So there have been a few new ones that have joined the crowd, and they are all singing above the fireplace. All right, so I think that ends my Flossmas number 1. I'm gonna have to get better at my timing. So hope to see you at the Jingle Ball. I'm going there next. So I wish you happy stitching this holiday season. Hope you come back to watch me during Flossmas this year. Bye-bye. Hey, I'm back for a finale. I don't think I showed you what's in my box. So what do we have today? This is a little gift that was given to me at Stitch New England by one of my table mates, Diana, and totally unnecessary, but she picked this up at the store there for us all. And these are just some really nice little charms that were curated from Summer House Stitchworkes from the trunk show there. Really sweet, and can't wait to use them. All right, happy stitching.